We have breaking news and a major Mitchell Robinson update. It has been revealed that he will be returning to the lineup this weekend, as Shams Charania revealed that Mitchell Robinson is coming back at the perfect time, with Ariel Hukporti's season likely over and Karl Anthony Towns also dealing with a knee injury. And we're going to break all of this down. Excellent news coming out this wonderful Thursday evening. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. And guys, if you're enjoying the content, make sure to subscribe to Knicks Digest. It really does help me out a ton. I'm on that grind for you. This is like my fourth video I've made today, and we're not stopping, boys and girls. We're going to keep going. The only girl here might be my mom, but she watches my videos, so that's pretty cool. Guys, Mitchell Robinson is officially back. Now, it was revealed by Shams Charania that Mitchell Robinson will be making his debut this weekend. As Shams mentioned, New York's Mitchell Robinson has been upgraded to questionable to play and make his Knicks season debut as early as Friday against the Memphis Grizzlies, league sources tell ESPN. Robinson plans to play during the team's trip in Memphis and Miami on Sunday. Now, here's something interesting that we have to talk about in regards to Mitchell Robinson making his return. Mitch posted on Snapchat or Instagram stories, one of those, about, can you guys find my car? He landed in Memphis. Mind you, Mitchell Robinson has a house in Memphis, and said, who can find my car here? And you can see it's his giant pickup truck that he drives around in. So he said that he wants to drive his big truck to his first game, and he had to get it right and game ready. And now it appears that he sent out a big hint because he's keeping it at the Memphis house, getting things ready to go. I guess he brought his car down somehow. Maybe someone drove it down for him. Who knows? But Mitchell Robinson will be making his return likely, I will say likely on Friday. If he's already being linked as questionable the day prior, I think that's a good sign for a guy who's been listed as out for every game up to this point in his season. So Mitchell Robinson, it's about to be March, and just before March hits, it appears that Mitchell Robinson will likely return to the court. Robinson's a career 8-8 guy, and last season, I've mentioned this before, he put up 5.5 points and 8.5 rebounds per game, but those were down from his 6 and 10 numbers initially because Mitch dealt with a stress fracture and came back injured and was playing on the injury. Then his season got ended once again, and effectively this entire season got ruined because Joel Embiid pulled down on his leg. We all know this stuff. It's no new news. We've talked about that much, but Mitch does come into the New York Knicks at a very interesting time. As you can see, this is the New York Knicks injury report right now. Mitchell Robinson is also here, but he hasn't been updated yet because this Shams report just came out. But Ariel Hukporti out for the next 4 to 6 weeks with a torn meniscus. Karl Anthony Towns out on a day-to-day basis because of having a knee injury that's listed as a sore knee. Might be a bit of a strain, a sprain, whatever you want to call it. He might be dealing with a little bit of a knee injury, but nothing too major that'll really help, that will really hold him out. However, it is important to note this was on a surgically repaired knee, so it does add a little bit more fear that the Knicks might be holding off a little bit longer, which is perfectly fine to me. Do whatever you got to do. Make sure Karl Anthony Towns is fully healthy by the playoffs. Same as the rest of the New York Knicks, including Mitchell Robinson. Robinson returns at a perfect time because the Knicks are in dire help of another big man. Now, there's Towns, who could play in Memphis. I would guess that he'll probably sit Memphis out and then come back against Miami, but also very likely that he does play in Memphis as well. And he's put up 25 points per game this season with 13.5 rebounds. Just absolutely unbelievable numbers with 3 assists, nearly a block, 1 steal per game. His perimeter defense has shown to be very solid, very, very better than we'd expect from him. The post defense, the low block defense, rim protection is just completely a non-factor. He does not protect the rim. But he does shoot 43% from 3 and 53% from the field, while shooting 43% on corner threes as well. We all know Karl Anthony Towns is great, and we want him to come back fully healthy because that's what matters most. And the only guy who's been sort of protecting the rim for the Knicks this season, outside of Hukporti, who's played limited minutes, is Precious Achiuwa. Achiuwa, who's 6'8", did a decent enough job, I guess, for the regular season, but being 6'8" hampers you as a rim protector. He's put up 7 points and 6 rebounds per game with 1 assist, and nearly a block and a steal per game off the bench. Some starts, but mainly off the bench. He's been solid for the Knicks. Absolutely a solid player. Perfectly good defender on both levels. However, he's not that rim protector that the New York Knicks need. Mitchell Robinson, a guy who averages around 2 blocks per game for his career, absolutely helps this team out in so many ways. The Knicks needed him back, so Mitchell Robinson coming back is an excellent sign. On top of all this, it's important to note that, well, Karl Anthony Towns, if he doesn't play, we are going to see Precious Achiuwa start at center, which we haven't seen yet this season, or really ever. Tibbs doesn't like to start Precious at center. He'll bring him off the bench and have him play center, but he rarely starts at center. So there would be the thought, well, maybe Mitch is going to play center. But here's why he's not going to. Tom Thibodeau has already revealed that he plans to play Mitch in smaller increments once Mitchell Robinson returns to the floor. He doesn't want to give it a bunch of time, like give Mitch too much time. I imagine if Mitch plays in Memphis, which I expect him to, then he'll play 10 to 15 minutes, and it'll be pretty slow. His stats won't be very good. It'll be like 2 points, 3 rebounds, a block, and people are going to be like, the Knicks are waiting for that guy. He's not good. You're going to have to give him time. It's been a while since Mitchell Robinson's played a game, and it's definitely going to have an impact on how he's going to play when he comes back. But he's lost a bunch of weight. See this guy right here? This is not the same guy that we're going to see step on the floor. This was a 300-pound Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson is 266 pounds right now because he wants to be able to be that high-flying version of himself. As he called it, 266.1 pounds. High-flying Mitch is back. He wants to be out there flying through the air, blocking shots, catching lobs, dunking it down. And I love that. I mean, it fits well with the Knicks. We need the offensive rebounding. He's been the best offensive rebounder in the NBA when he's healthy. So I think it's really important to note that Mitchell Robinson is going to come back with a vengeance when he's back. He's going to be a really good athlete once again. And also, when you're weighing less, when you're 266 pounds in comparison to nearly 300, then guess what? You're going to be at a lower risk for re-injuring a stress injury because you have a lot less weight on those feet when you're jumping around. I'm not saying Mitchell Robinson's never not going to be injury prone. He's probably always going to have some injury concerns. But Mitch is doing whatever it takes to become fully healthy. That's been the Knicks' full plan, is do whatever it takes for Mitchell Robinson to stay healthy once he can get back on the floor. It's why he's taken so long. He probably could have played by now, but they want to ensure that he's 110% and very adept to preventing injuries. Yes, he's probably done a lot of physical therapy, and it probably has not been reparative. It's probably been preventative, essentially meaning that Mitchell Robinson is doing whatever it takes to prevent getting re-injured once again. Now, Friday is going to be an interesting game because the Memphis Grizzlies, they have really one true center who they play, and that's Zach Edey. Zach Edey is 7'4". He's a massive, massive guy, and he's been quite good in the NBA level. I did not expect Zach Edey to pan out this well, so it's going to be interesting to see how Mitchell Robinson would fare against Edey. It's an interesting first matchup. Outside of that, they will play against Jaren Jackson, who will spend some time at the 5, and that's also interesting because it gives the Grizzlies more of a 5-out roster, so it's important to note that as well. So we're going to see how Mitch fares with some perimeter defense as well. I do hope Karl-Anthony Towns will play either in one of these games against the Grizzlies or the Heat, because the Heat have been doing really well recently, and the Memphis Grizzlies are one of the best teams in the Western Conference. So we'll see how Karl-Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson fare against actual appropriate talent to see how that'll mesh for the playoffs. The playoffs are the end game here in the Knicks. There's a likelihood that they play Mitch on Friday and then don't play him Sunday because they're trying to bring him back slowly. I doubt Mitch is going to play any back-to-backs this year. There's no reason to play him. If Mitch plays 15 games and is fully healthy and fully warmed up and ready to go by the playoffs, that's completely fine with me. Guys, how excited are you? Let me know what you think about this down below. When's Mitch making his debut? Is it in Memphis or Miami? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, guys, and go Knicks.